Cleopatra VII, the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt, has been immortalized in history and popular culture as a figure of extraordinary beauty and seductive charm. But was Cleopatra truly the most beautiful woman ever? Or is this image a product of myth and historical embellishment? To answer this question, we need to delve into the historical records, explore her depiction in ancient and modern sources, and understand the cultural and political context of her time. Cleopatra was born in 69 BCE into the Ptolemaic dynasty, a Macedonian Greek royal family that had ruled Egypt since the death of Alexander the Great. The Ptolemies were known for their complex dynastic politics, often marked by intrigue and infighting. Cleopatra herself ascended to the throne at the age of 18, co-ruling with her younger brother Ptolemy II. Her early reign was characterized by a struggle for power, which she eventually won with the support of Julius Caesar. The most enduring images of Cleopatra come from Roman sources, particularly the works of historians such as Plutarch, Cassius Dio, and Suetonius. These accounts were written after her death, and were heavily influenced by Roman perceptions and political agendas. Plutarch, for example, wrote that her beauty was not in itself incomparable, nor such as to strike those who saw her. Instead, he emphasized her intelligence, wit, and charm, suggesting that her allure lay in her personality and charisma rather than her physical appearance. Roman propaganda also played a significant role in shaping Cleopatra's image. After her defeat and subsequent suicide in 30 BCE, Octavian, the future Emperor Augustus, sought to vilify her as a dangerous and exotic seductress who had ensnared both Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. This portrayal served to justify his own actions and solidify his power. The image of Cleopatra as a femme fatale was thus cemented in the Roman imagination and has persisted through the centuries. In addition to historical texts, numismatic evidence provides valuable insights into Cleopatra's appearance. Coins minted during her reign depict her with distinctive features: a prominent nose, strong jawline, and large expressive eyes. These depictions are not necessarily flattering by modern standards, but they reflect the artistic conventions of the time and Cleopatra's desire to present herself as a powerful and authoritative ruler. It is important to note that these images were designed to convey her status and legitimacy rather than her beauty. Cleopatra's relationship with Julius Caesar began in 48 BCE, when she famously had herself smuggled into his presence wrapped in a carpet, or possibly a bed sack, according to some accounts. This audacious act demonstrated her resourcefulness and determination. Cleopatra and Caesar became lovers, and she bore him a son, Ptolemy Iphthine Philopator Caesar, commonly known as Caesarea. Their alliance helped Cleopatra secure her position on the throne and strengthen her political influence. After Caesar's assassination in 44 BCE, Cleopatra aligned herself with Mark Antony, one of Caesar's closest associates and a member of the Second Triumvirate. Their relationship was both personal and political, marked by grand displays of wealth and power. Cleopatra's ability to captivate Antony was legendary, and their union produced 3 children. This alliance, however, provoked the ire of Octavian, leading to a protracted conflict that culminated in the Battle of Actium in 31 BCE. Defeated, Antony and Cleopatra both committed suicide, marking the end of Ptolemaic rule and the beginning of Roman dominion over Egypt. Cleopatra's legacy has been shaped by a combination of historical records, literary works, and artistic representations. William Shakespeare's play Antony and Cleopatra, written in the early 17th century, is perhaps the most famous literary depiction of Cleopatra. Shakespeare portrayed her as a passionate and manipulative figure, reinforcing the image of her as a seductress. This characterization has influenced King. One of the most iconic portrayals of Cleopatra in modern times is the 1963 film Cleopatra, starring Elizabeth Taylor. The film, known for its lavish production and Taylor's striking performance, cemented Cleopatra's image as a paragon of beauty and glamour in the popular imagination. However, it is essential to recognize that such portrayals are influenced by contemporary ideals of beauty and do not necessarily reflect historical reality. Cleopatra's intellect and education were also integral to her allure. She was reportedly fluent in multiple languages, including Greek, Egyptian, and possibly Hebrew and Aramaic. Her education encompassed subjects such as philosophy, rhetoric, and astronomy, making her one of the most learned women of her time. This intellectual prowess, combined with her political acumen, enabled her to navigate the complex dynamics of her reign and maintain her position of power. Moreover, Cleopatra's ability to embody both Greek and Egyptian cultural elements played a crucial role in her rule. She presented herself as the reincarnation of the Egyptian goddess Isis, aligning herself with the religious and cultural traditions of her subject. This dual identity helped her garner support from both the Greek and Egyptian populations, reinforcing her legitimacy as a ruler. In examining Cleopatra's beauty, it is also important to consider the cultural standards of her time. Ancient Greek and Roman ideals of beauty differed significantly from modern notions. In ancient times, beauty was often associated with symmetry, proportion, and a sense of divine favor. Cleopatra's features, as depicted on coins and busts, may not align with contemporary ideals, but they likely conform to the aesthetic preferences of her era. Furthermore, the emphasis on Cleopatra's beauty should not overshadow her achievements as a ruler. Her reign was marked by significant political and economic accomplishments. She stabilized Egypt's economy, fostered trade, and implemented administrative reforms. Her diplomatic alliances with powerful Roman leaders showcased her strategic acumen and ability to wield influence on the international stage. Cleopatra's enduring legacy can also be seen in her impact on subsequent generations of women leaders. Her story has inspired countless women to pursue positions of power and influence, challenging traditional gender roles and stereotypes. Cleopatra's ability to assert her authority in a male-dominated world serves as a testament to her strength and resilience. In conclusion, the question of whether Cleopatra was the most beautiful woman ever is complex and multifaceted. While historical accounts and artistic depictions highlight her allure, it is essential to recognize that her beauty was intertwined with her intelligence, charisma, and political acumen. Cleopatra's legacy transcends physical appearance, encompassing her achievements as a ruler, her cultural impact, and her enduring influence on history. Whether seen as a symbol of beauty or a formidable leader, Cleopatra's story continues to captivate and inspire. Cleopatra's impact extends beyond her physical appearance and political achievements, encompassing her influence on culture, science, and literature. As we continue to explore the multifaceted nature of Cleopatra's legacy, it becomes evident that her contributions to various domains have left an indelible mark on history. One of Cleopatra's notable contributions was her patronage of the arts and sciences. Alexandria, the capital of Ptolemaic Egypt, was a renowned center of learning and culture during her reign. The city housed the Great Library of Alexandria, one of the most significant repositories of knowledge in the ancient world. Cleopatra's support for scholars, poets, and philosophers helped maintain Alexandria's status as a hub of intellectual activity. Cleopatra's involvement in scientific endeavors is also worth mentioning. The Ptolemies were known for their interest in scientific research, and Cleopatra continued this tradition. She is believed to have engaged in the study of alchemy and medicine, contributing to the advancement of these fields. Cleopatra's interest in alchemy was likely influenced by the rich tradition of Egyptian and Greek scientific thought, which sought to understand the natural world through observation and experimentation. In addition to her scientific pursuits, Cleopatra's role in literature is significant. Her life and reign have inspired countless works of literature, from ancient times to the present day. One of the earliest literary references to Cleopatra can be found in the works of Roman poets such as Horace and Virgil. These poets often depicted her as a seductive and dangerous figure, reflecting the Roman view of her as an enemy of the state. Cleopatra's influence on literature continued into the medieval and Renaissance periods. Geoffrey Chaucer's The Legend of Good Women, written in the late 14th century, includes a sympathetic portrayal of Cleopatra, highlighting her loyalty and love for Antony. This depiction contrasts with earlier Roman portrayals, suggesting a shift in how she was perceived over time. William Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra, written in the early 17th century, is perhaps the most famous literary work inspired by Cleopatra. Shakespeare's play explores the complexities of her character, portraying her as both a powerful ruler and a passionate lover. The play has been widely performed and adapted, contributing to the enduring fascination with Cleopatra's story. Cleopatra's legacy also extends to the visual arts. Throughout history, artists have been captivated by her image, producing numerous paintings, sculptures, and other works of art depicting her. In the Renaissance, Cleopatra was often portrayed as an idealized figure, embodying the beauty and elegance of classical antiquity. Artists such as Titian, Michelangelo, and Caravaggio created iconic representations of Cleopatra, each reflecting the artistic styles and cultural attitudes of their time. In the 19th and 20th centuries, Cleopatra's image was further popularized through film and theater. The 1963 film Cleopatra, starring Elizabeth Taylor, is one of the most famous cinematic portrayals of the Egyptian queen. The film's lavish production and Taylor's captivating performance helped cement Cleopatra's image as a symbol of beauty and glamour in popular culture. This portrayal, however, often overshadowed the historical complexities of her character, focusing more on her romantic relationships than her political achievements. Cleopatra's story has also been the subject of scholarly research and debate. Historians and archaeologists have sought to uncover the truth about her life and reign, examining ancient texts, artifacts, and archaeological sites. One of the most significant discoveries related to Cleopatra is the potential identification of her tomb. In recent years, archaeologists have been searching for the final resting place of Cleopatra and Mark Antony, with promising findings at the site of Tepazaris Magna, near Alexandria. Moreover, Cleopatra's relationships with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony have often been analyzed through the lens of gender and power. These alliances were not just romantic but also strategic, allowing Cleopatra to strengthen her position and secure her kingdom's future. Her ability to form and maintain these relationships highlights her political acumen and understanding of the intricate dynamics of power. In conclusion, the question of whether Cleopatra was the most beautiful woman ever cannot be answered definitively. Her beauty, as described by ancient sources, was intertwined with her charisma, intellect, and political skills. Cleopatra's legacy goes beyond her physical appearance, encompassing her achievements as a ruler, her contributions to culture and science, and her enduring influence on literature, art, and popular culture. Whether seen as a symbol of beauty or a formidable leader, Cleopatra's story continues to inspire and captivate, reminding us of the enduring power of historical figures to shape our understanding of the past and present. You may think of Cleopatra as the only famous queen of Egypt, but there's another queen whose story is just as fascinating. In this video, you'll discover the surprising life of Hatshepsut, the only female pharaoh of ancient Egypt. Her reign challenges everything you think you know about women in power. What if I told you that Hatshepsut didn't just inherit the throne from her husband? Hatshepsut became queen after the death of her husband, Thutmose II. Instead of stepping aside and allowing her young stepson to take over, she made a bold decision to claim the throne for herself as a pharaoh. This was a groundbreaking move in a society dominated by men. Hatshepsut dressed in male clothing, complete with a false beard, to assert her authority and legitimacy. Imagine a queen choosing to embrace the persona of a king in order to lead her people. Her reign lasted over 20 years, making her one of Egypt's most successful rulers. While most women in her time were expected to remain in the shadows, Hatshepsut stepped into the light, reshaping the role of women in ancient Egypt. It's intriguing to think about how she navigated a world that often sidelined female voices. But what did Hatshepsut actually accomplish during her time in power? Her achievements were remarkable. She commissioned magnificent monuments, including her stunning mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari, which stands as a testament to her grandeur. But here's the kicker. Her leadership didn't just stop at architecture. Hatshepsut expanded Egypt's trade networks, sending expeditions to the land of Punt, rich in valuable resources. This trade brought immense wealth to Egypt, allowing her to invest in massive building projects that would leave a lasting legacy. During her reign, Egypt experienced a time of peace and prosperity, which was a rarity in a world often riddled with conflict. But how did she manage to maintain stability in such turbulent times? Her ability to navigate politics and ensure the well-being of her people speaks volumes about her capabilities as a leader. As we delve deeper into Hatshepsut's life, consider how her reign was not just about power, but about redefining what it meant to be a female ruler in ancient history. Her story is one of resilience, ingenuity, and a relentless pursuit of greatness, challenging the norms of her time. How did Hatshepsut turn Egypt into a thriving power during her reign? This is a question that reveals the depth of her impact on ancient Egypt. Hatshepsut wasn't just a ruler. She was a visionary who reshaped the very landscape of her kingdom. After she ascended to the throne, she commissioned magnificent monuments that still captivate us today. One of her most famous achievements is her mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari, a stunning architectural feat that was not only a place of worship, but also a statement of her power and ambition. Imagine standing before the towering cliffs of Deir el-Bahari, the temple's grandeur rising above the valley. It served as a reminder of Hatshepsut's reign and her determination to be recognized as a pharaoh. But this wasn't just about building for show. It was about creating a legacy. Each stone was laid with purpose, reflecting her vision for a prosperous Egypt. Hatshepsut also understood the importance of trade. Most people think that pharaohs focused only on military conquests, but the reality is that she sought to expand Egypt's wealth through peaceful means. She launched expeditions to the land of Punt, a region rich in resources. These voyages brought back valuable goods like myrrh, ivory, and gold, enriching the Egyptian economy. With this newfound wealth, she could invest in ambitious building projects that showcased her power and the stability of her reign. During her rule, Egypt experienced a rare time of peace and prosperity, which was critical in an era often marked by conflict. Hatshepsut's approach to governance emphasized trade and diplomacy rather than warfare. This not only strengthened Egypt's economy, but also fostered a sense of unity among its people. Her reign was a remarkable period where the arts flourished and the economy thrived. As we explore Hatshepsut's achievements, it's crucial to acknowledge how her leadership set a precedent for future generations. She proved that a woman could not only hold power but excel in her role as a leader. However, her legacy faced challenges as time went on. Through her monumental projects and successful trade initiatives, Hatshepsut established a new era of prosperity for Egypt, one that would be remembered and studied for centuries. The impact of her reign goes beyond mere facts. It reshaped the way we view leadership and power in ancient civilizations. What did Hatshepsut's reign mean for women in ancient Egypt? This question unveils the extraordinary impact she had on gender roles in her time. Hatshepsut ruled in a male-dominated society, but she didn't just survive. She thrived in her role as pharaoh. Most people think that only men could wield such power, but Hatshepsut shattered that stereotype, proving that women could lead effectively and decisively. Her journey as a ruler challenges the traditional views of gender roles. In ancient Egypt, Hatshepsut adopted the titles and regalia of a pharaoh, donning the traditional male headdress and even a false beard. Imagine the courage it took for her to present herself as a male leader in a culture that often sidelined women. This boldness sent a clear message: women could take charge, even in the most powerful positions. Despite her remarkable achievements, many of Hatshepsut's contributions were overshadowed by later male pharaohs. After her reign, her legacy was nearly erased, a testament to the prevailing patriarchal norms that sought to diminish the impact of female rulers. But her reign was groundbreaking. She showed that women could not only hold power, but could also execute their duties with exceptional skill and vision. Hatshepsut expanded Egypt's trade networks and commissioned monumental architecture, which reflected her authority and leadership. Yet she did so in a way that highlighted her unique position as a female pharaoh, showcasing her strengths while challenging the status quo. The legacy of her accomplishments, however, faced a dark chapter when her stepson, Thutmose III, ascended to the throne. What many people don't know is that Thutmose III attempted to erase her from history. Statues were defaced, inscriptions destroyed, and her name was systematically removed from the records. This attempt to restore the male lineage of pharaohs raises a significant question. Why would one ruler feel threatened enough to erase the legacy of another? It speaks volumes about the dynamics of power and gender in ancient Egypt, revealing how deeply entrenched these beliefs were. Despite these efforts, Hatshepsut's story endured. Modern archaeology has played a crucial role in rediscovering her legacy, bringing her story back into the light. The resilience of her narrative reminds us that, even when faced with adversity, the truth can prevail. Hatshepsut's reign represents not just a powerful chapter in Egyptian history, but also a monumental step toward acknowledging the capabilities of women in leadership roles. Why did Hatshepsut's legacy fade from history after her reign? This question opens a door to a fascinating and somewhat tragic story. After Hatshepsut's death, her stepson, Thutmose III, embarked on a campaign to erase her from the historical record. Most people think that such powerful figures are remembered forever, but the reality is that history can be rewritten, and her story nearly vanished. Thutmose III, eager to consolidate his own power, attempted to restore the traditional male lineage of pharaohs by defacing statues and removing her name from inscriptions. Imagine the effort it took to erase a ruler from history. Statues smashed, temples recarved, and her accomplishments overshadowed. This was not just a personal vendetta. It was a calculated political move to ensure that no one would question his authority or the established. However, this act of erasure raises an important question. Why would a male ruler feel so threatened by a female predecessor? Hatshepsut had proven that a woman could rule effectively, and her legacy challenged the deeply ingrained gender norms of their society. By removing her from history, Thutmose III aimed to reinforce the idea that only men could hold power, thus restoring the patriarchal status quo. Modern archaeology has played a crucial role in bringing her legacy back into the light. The discovery of her mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari has revealed stunning murals and inscriptions that celebrate her reign. These findings have allowed historians to piece together her story, showcasing her accomplishments and contributions to Egypt. Moreover, Hatshepsut's case challenges us to reflect on how history is written and remembered. While many women leaders throughout history have faced similar erasure, Hatshepsut's resurgence in modern scholarship serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of recognizing diverse leadership styles. In a world where her story was nearly lost, we are reminded that true power can defy traditional boundaries. Hatshepsut's reign shows us that women can lead just as effectively as men, and her legacy continues to inspire future generations to challenge societal norms and strive for leadership roles, regardless of gender. The mystery of her legacy is not just about loss. It's about recovery, resilience, and the enduring nature of impactful leadership. So, what have you learned about Hatshepsut? Her story is not just about a woman wearing the crown. It's about a powerful pharaoh who reshaped the very fabric of ancient Egypt. Hatshepsut's rise to power was extraordinary. After the death of her husband, she boldly claimed her rightful place on the throne instead of stepping aside. Most people think that a female female ruler would have faced insurmountable challenges, but Hatshepsut thrived, proving that leadership knows no gender. Throughout her reign, she achieved remarkable feats that changed Egypt forever. From commissioning the breathtaking mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari to expanding trade networks to Punt, she brought wealth and stability to her people. Imagine an entire civilization flourishing under the leadership of a woman, a sight rarely seen in ancient history. Her ability to foster peace and prosperity during her time speaks volumes about her capabilities and vision. But what truly sets Hatshepsut apart is her challenge to gender norms. In a world dominated by male rulers, she donned the robes of a pharaoh, presenting herself as a king to command respect and authority. This act was revolutionary and demonstrated to the people of Egypt that women too could lead effectively. It raises an important question. How many other female leaders throughout history have faced similar challenges, and how many stories have been lost like Hatshepsut's? Despite her extraordinary achievements, her legacy faced erasure after her death. Thutmose III, her stepson, sought to remove her from history, a painful reminder of the precarious nature of women's contributions throughout time. Statues were defaced, and her name was stripped from historical records in a desperate bid to restore a male lineage. Most people would assume that such actions would ensure her story faded, but the resilience of Hatshepsut's legacy shines through modern archaeology. Discoveries have revived her narrative, reminding us that true power and influence can endure despite attempts to silence them. As we wrap up Hatshepsut's remarkable journey, we see how her reign continues to inspire discussions about gender equality and leadership today. She wasn't just a queen, she was a pioneer who reshaped perceptions of women and power. The lessons we learn from her life urge us to challenge stereotypes and embrace the diverse forms of leadership that exist in our world. Hatshepsut's legacy reminds us that true power can come in many forms, and her story is a testament to the strength and resilience of women throughout history. If you enjoyed this epic journey, please subscribe to our channel for more thrilling historical tales. Don't miss out on new videos. Hit the notification bell to stay updated.